Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Equipment Grants Program, fiscal year 2026 NOFO Technical Assistance webinar. Thank you all for attending today. Next slide. My name is Christopher Green. I am a National Program Leader in the Institute of Youth, Family, and Community in the Division of Community and Education. I lead the Equipment Grants Program as well as the WAMS program, the SPECA program, and the MSP program. We also have Donna Hyatt on the call. She serves as the program specialist, also a part of the Institute of Youth, Family, and Community, but she serves as our program specialist on the Equipment Grants Program. Next slide. Topics we will cover are the NIPA overview. We're going to go through a program overview for the Equipment Grants Program, application details and documents, the evaluation process for the application, tips for success, as well as additional information as NIPA transitions into a new ERA system, and that is how you will be submitting your applications this year. So that will be very important to listen up for. Next slide. So NIPA overview. So who is NIPA? We are the National Institute of Food and Agriculture. We are the extramural science funding agency within USDA's REE mission area, which is research, education, and economics. NIPA invests in and supports initiatives that ensure the long-term viability of agriculture. NIPA provides funding and strategic leadership for programs that ensure groundbreaking discoveries in agriculture-related sciences and technologies and reaching the people who can put them into practice. So for the Equipment Grants Program, we're going to first start with the program overview. The Equipment Grants Program purpose and priorities. The purpose and priorities of the Equipment Grants Program are to increase access to shared special purpose equipment, instruments for scientific research for use in the food and agricultural sciences programs. The purpose is to enhance the fundamental or applied research capacity through extension work, both within and outside the proposing organization. Proposals to the Equipment Grants Program are for the acquisition of a single, well-integrated piece of equipment and instrument. We'll get into the definition of that. An instrument acquired from with the support of the Equipment Grants Program is expected to be fully operational by the conclusion of the first year. Next slide. So for eligibility, this program is specifically only open to colleges and universities, state agricultural experiment stations, and university research foundations. We do not support nonprofits or any other type of small businesses or entities, only colleges and universities, state agricultural experiment stations, and university research foundations. Next slide. Application submission and award limitations. So we do not accept duplicate applications. If they are similar to each other or overlap, we do limit the applications to 2 applications per lead institution, and we will only make one or possibly make one award to that institution, even if there are 2 that rank very highly. Next slide. The project types and grant types. So the project types are strictly equipment grants. We want you to explain the research to help support the reasoning for your application, but we would like it to be strictly about the equipment, and this is a standard type grant. Next slide. So diving more into equipment projects only. So for equipment projects, this is for the acquisition of research equipment, does not fund research project costs, including personnel costs associated with the use of the equipment acquired with support from this program. EGP protects projects support the purchase of equipment that will enhance the capacity or increase the capacity at a research institution. Our minimum funding request is $25,000. The maximum funding request is $500,000. The standard duration for any equipment grants program proposal or project is 48 months. And like we said, it's meant to be fully operational within the first year, and then you would use those next 4 years for reporting to us, letting us know what successes or challenges you've had. Next slide. EGP has many things that it does not support when it comes to your proposal. It's mostly strictly about the equipment. EGP does not fund the research, education, or extension project costs or the personnel salaries or wages. This is including research or personnel that use the equipment or will be helping them set up the equipment with support from the program. EGP does not fund general purpose ancillary equipment that would normally be found in a laboratory or is relatively easily procured by other funding sources. EGP does not support the operation, consumable costs, maintenance of facilities, equipment or research labs or building modifications. We do not support facilities renovations that would house the acquired equipment. And also EGP does not support can you go back a slide? EGP does not support the acquisition of a suite of instruments to outfit research laboratories and facilities. That's what we mean by a single well-integrated piece of equipment. Next slide. So cost share or matching, we do not have a matching requirement. Matching resources will not be factored into the review process. So application details and documents. So important details: to receive an award, the lead institution may not have received more than 2 equipment grants awards in the previous 2 EGP funding cycles. If your institution has been awarded both fiscal year 24 and fiscal year 25, you would not be eligible for this year to receive an award. EGP will support the installation of equipment, but but as I said before, not the modification of facilities. But it will support up to $7,000 of installation, an extended equipment warranty for the duration of 48 months, and one-time equipment use training. As I said, training and extended warranty costs must not exceed $7,000 for each category. While extended warranty costs are allowed, continuing maintenance contracts are not. As I said before, the duration is 48 months and is expected to be fully operational within the first year. So application details, these are very important deadlines. The application deadline is 5 p.m. Eastern Time, Thursday, June 25th, 2026. You will be using the ERA program, which is also supported by grants.gov. The total funding available in fiscal year 2026 is $2.8 million. The program code is EGP. The maximum funding per award is $500,000. The minimum funding is $25,000. As I said before, the maximum applications that we will review per institution is 2, as well as only 1 award could be made to that institution. Next slide. So key components of your application are the project summary and abstract, project narrative, the bibliography reference list, as well as other documents that are listed within the NOPO. Next slide. For the project narrative, so your project narrative has a limit of 10 pages, and this is strictly enforced. Even with graphs and tables, it needs to be within a 10-page limit. This is 1.5 inch spacing with 1-inch margins. Please use 12-point Times New Roman font. As I said, this includes text, figures, and tables, and the tables must be maybe single-spaced. Within 10 pages, please describe the research equipment and need, the technical description, why is it needed, the existence of an availability of comparable instrumentation, where the shared use aspect of it, how would this help other people in the region. If an integrated instrument, define how it is well integrated. Research activities and by well integrated, what we mean by that is, say there's a specific attachment you would need in order to complete the research that you are proposing. a part of like another spectrometer or another type of equipment that you can make the case that you would require those components to make it a single well-integrated piece of equipment. Also within the 10 pages, please describe the research activities to be enabled. These do not have to be fully fleshed out like in proposals, but we would like brief descriptions of research areas and how it will advance capacity at the institution and potential contributions to the field. Next slide. So the project, continuing with the project narrative, please describe the project timeline and instrument location, the location of the instrument and how it will have shared use access, and how that would be accessible to other people within your region, other institutions possibly, or local constituents. The administrative timeline, coordination and collaboration management, and project sustainability, procedures for allocating the instrument time if appropriate, and plans for attracting and supporting new users. Please describe cooperation and institutional involvement, degree to which the project will strengthen the institution's fundamental or applied research, the institution's commitment to the project, the adequacy of the institutional resources, plans for equipment maintenances and use for the life of the instrument beyond the period of USDA support. As we said, applications that have longer than 10 pages in their project narrative will be returned without review. So more of the application details and documents. NIFA only accepts electronic submission of applications. We have many references through the NIFA grants application guide. Application documents must be in PDF to be accepted by NIFA. Please do not password protect them. Do not use third-party PDF builders. Grants.gov may accept other types of different types of documents, but please only send them in PDF forms that are not password protected. Next slide. Next slide. Application evaluation process. So the evaluation process, applications are assigned for review to at least 3 reviewers with expertise in the proposed topic. Reviewers will produce individual reviews of each application, evaluating the strengths and weaknesses. The written reviews are used to begin panel discussions with other reviewers serving on the panel review panel. Through these discussions, peer review panelists come to consensus on the final rating and ranking of the applications. Next slide. So this year we'll be evaluating the proposals through evaluation criteria. There will be 4 different evaluation criteria that the reviewers will go through. So criteria 1 is the innovativeness and proposed approach, the institutional capability, potential impact, and criteria 2 will be potential impact on research capacity, and criteria 4 will be the budget and cost effectiveness. So our timeline of competitive programs is right now we are in months 1 through 3, the NOPO release, the application writing and planning, as well as the application is due. Months 3 through 8, the application is under peer review, the application funding notifications, and then months 8 through 9 is when awards are finalized. You would receive either an award or a declination. On average, a competitive program takes about 6 to 9 months from the application due date to an award being made to an institution. We will keep you updated as much as possible, and we really appreciate your patience. Application changes from prior year. So as I stated in the beginning of the presentation of the webinar, ERA is added to the submission of applications. ERA is a new application system that we'll be using. Please register with the system prior to the application submission. Organizations must designate at least 1 signing official and 1 project director in ERA Commons when submitting an application. For additional information, please refer to NIFA's ERA Reference Center and ERA Commons applicant resources. This year, NIFA is also using Science CV as the expected use to get the biographical sketches and the current and pending and other support forms in. Detailed instructions about Science CV can be found in the NIFA application guide. Next slide. The data management plan for research projects with extension education and components. This is not a mandatory document this year, but investigators may provide up to 2 pages business and management data plans. This is including the expected data type, the data format, data storage and preservation, data sharing, protection, and public access, as well as the roles and responsibilities. And we also have many links that you can use to show or see what the data management plan would look like. Next slide. So tips for success for your applications. Before you start writing, consider, is your topic appropriate for this program? Does it fit the scope of the equipment grants program? Are you an entity that is eligible to apply to this program? Do you understand the requirements from the NOFO? Are you familiar with the application review process? Do you have all the needed resources matching if required, qualified, experienced staff partners and stakeholders to manage the project? Some tips are to write clearly and logically, organize the documents according to the NOFO outline or evaluation criteria, prepare budget with a strong justification, follow the guidelines from the NOFO, they're judged on degree of reasonableness, obtain critical input from experienced and successful colleagues, fill out forms completely and correctly, use tables and figures to help illustrate important points, write for both the expert and the novice. Next slide. For your planning checklist to make sure you get your application in on time, I know that the deadline is soon on June 25th. The planning checklist can help identify and prioritize several steps like locating the appropriate program, assembling a team, creating a timeline, completing all the required forms and registrations through SAM.gov, ERA, grants.gov, completing the required documents, editing and converting to a PDF, as well as submitting on time. So a document checklist, application package may need several documents that are mentioned in the NOFO. Complete and accurate application packages help us and the reviewers in understanding the intended project and its requirements. Create a list of documents needed from the NOFO. Mark documents complete as you go along. The checklist will also help you when you're submitting your documents to the system, as you can mark them off when you're done. Additional information and resources. If it were, you'll be using the NIFA reporting portal please use the NIFA reporting portal to find funded awards. They are also listed, I believe, on the webpage, on the NIFA webpage for the equipment grants program. Next slide. So some grant resources that we have are funding opportunities, competitive grants flowchart, the NIFA training resources, the NIFA policy guide, indirect costs, as well as a guide for preparation and submission of NIFA applications via grants.gov. Next slide. The new application process is in 3 steps. So this is getting into what ERA is. ERA adds a new layer to how your institution registers, applies, and tracks NIFA grants. Step 1 is create an ERA Commons account. Here's what you need to know is to register your organization. This could take up to 6 weeks, so please do it now. Designate a signing official. Create a PDPI account for the researchers applying. Most land-grant institutions, I believe, are signed up for this, but please let us know. Next slide. Next slide. What do I need to know? Find the equipment grants NOFO at grants.gov. Complete application forms following NOFO instructions. Enter your UEI number. It must match ERA Commons registration, specifically in Section 5 of the Form SF424. Enter PD, PI, ERA Commons username in the credential field applicable to research and related senior key personnel profile. Failure to enter will result in an app error. Submit early. Errors may take time to resolve. And the PD and PR username is required by ERA, but grants.gov won't flag it as missing. Without it, your application cannot be linked to your ERA Commons record and will receive an error. Next slide. So step 3, to track your application in ERA Commons, Log into ERA Commons, status module, look for recent pending e-submissions, confirm an accession number has been assigned, address any errors promptly via the original application. Not our applications with errors will not move forward. And a tip is grants.gov confirmation is not the finish line. After submitting, log into ERA Commons and check recent and pending e-submissions. Look for an accession number. That's your confirmation that the application is cleared both rounds of validation and will move forward. No accession numbers means there are errors that need to be fixed. So we have a checklist for your ERA related action checklist. Preparation before your program transitions will determine how smoothly your first submission goes. Before your institution applies, like we said, confirm your organization is registered in ERA, identify your signing official and view their account, ensure all active researchers, so PD, co-PD, have ERA Commons accounts. When applying, enter your UEI on the SF424 and enter the PD, PI, ERA Commons username in the credential field before submitting. Submit early, fixing one error can trigger others. Please do not wait until the deadline. Please try to submit before June 25th at 5 p.m. Just in case there are any errors that need to be fixed. Like I said, they need to be in a PDF format. And just to make sure that there are no errors as your application comes through. After submitting, check grants.gov for agency tracking number assigned. Confirm an accession number has been assigned. Continue monitoring the status module as your application moves through review. Next slide. Next slide.
It's showing, I thought it was showing the next slide. Sorry about that.
Okay, submitting a resubmission application in ERA. Pilot programs use a temporary process for their first year in ERA. So what do you need to know, or why is this different? ERA does not yet hold historical NIFA grant data. So the standard resubmission instruction causes applications to fail validation. So here's what you need to know if you are a resubmission this year. Submit as a new proposal through grants.gov. Include your response to the previous review panel summary in the narrative, just as you would for a standard resubmission. Email program staff. So you would email myself for your NOFO for 3 things: for the application title, new grant number, and previous grant number. NIFA program staff contact information can be found under the program contacts in Appendix 1, the agency contact of the NOFO. And a tip is that this applies to all NOFOs using ERA. If you don't see a resubmission option, that's expected. Submit as new and email your program contact listed on the status information screen in ERA Commons or as described above. Next slide. Preparing your application with ERA's Assist. So we would really like you all to utilize ERA's Assist. This is a way for them to, or a way for an external party to help you with any errors or any problems that may arise with ERA as we go into this new system of grant applications. Is Assist required? This is not required. You may continue to prepare your package directly in grants.gov. However, Assist provides numerous features such as error checking to support application submission. How would you access this? You would log in with your active ERA Commons credentials at the website shown, or via the Assist title in ERA Commons. So what can Assist do for me? Collaborate with controlled access, delegate sections to people inside or outside of your organization, pre-populate fields from your ERA Commons profile to save time, validate before you submit, so you can see any errors or problems that you may have if it was submitted. Preview the assembled application as reviewers will see it with auto-generated tables of contents, headers, and page numbers. Another tip is Assist replaces the preparation step, not the submission step. Applications built in Assist are submitted to NIFA through grants.gov. See the Assist overview and user guide for step-by-step instructions. If you experience issues with Assist, contact the ERA service desk. NIFA will not accept late applications due to issues with the Assist. So this is why we would really like you to try and submit your applications before the deadline. just so if there's any issues, you can take a look at them or have Assist help you and get those errors off of your application so we're able to review them properly. Next slide. So we're going to go into a Q&A. The emails ahead are how you can contact myself and Donna if you have any questions before the June 25th deadline. And I believe we have one more slide. This is our non-discrimination statement. We put this at the end of our presentations just to, if you feel that there's been any way this has been discrimination, please reach out to the following program or following links. And then could you go back to show our contact information, please, Donna? Thank you. And we will now take any questions. You can put them in through the chat. You can also raise your hand. Thank you all for being here. And just to reiterate, that deadline is June 25th at 5 p.m. Yes, Dr.
Chris, I think the way the meeting was set up, everybody, this is new technology that we're transferring over to, in addition to the ERA, a little different in
Okay,
Teams.
if you're,
I don't think they can come off of mute.
Yeah, I apologize for that. Any questions that you have, please write them in the chat and we'll be able to answer them.
And I'll start reading those off to you, Chris.
Okay.
And then as we move forward with the Q&A, if I miss your, so I'm having to scroll, if I miss your question, just retype it into the chat. So here's the first one. Do we need to present a plan for usage of the equipment for the full 48 months duration of the award?
I don't believe that is a part of your budget or budget justification. Most of it would be within the first year as it's being set up. But we would like to see how you would perform that research, briefly about the research, but we would like to see that for the duration of the 4 years.
Okay, could you please confirm whether the annual equipment service fee is an allowable expense?
The annual, no, that would not be an allowable cost.
Okay. I would like to get a mobile teaching kitchen. Is that considered a suite of equipment?
If you could email me separately, any projects where you're wondering if you fit the scope, please email me directly. And
Okay.
just so we can flesh it out to make sure that it's whether it's within the scope of the EGP program or not.
Okay. Does the grant cover maintenance cost for the first 1 to 2 years?
I believe that we do not cover maintenance costs. Let me just.
So we will come back to that question. And do you want to come back to that at the end?
Yeah, we can come back to that question.
Okay.
But as we said, we do not provide funding for consumables. We only go up to $7,000 for the installation. I think I saw a comment in there saying that was for salaries. The equipment grants program does not support personnel salaries at all. It all goes towards the equipment.
Okay, and do we need to supply quotes in the budget justification? And they mentioned they don't see this in the NOPO.
It's not a requirement to have a quote, but it would help support your application.
Okay, can we submit 2 different proposals involving the same team members if the project is different?
If the projects are completely different from each other, and those would be the 2 applications you would want to submit from your one institution, then yes, that should be allowable. And
Chris, can you remind us, if an institution submits 2 proposals, can they get 2 awards or only 1 award?
They can only, they can only receive 1 award for that fiscal year. And also if we receive more than 2, then the institution would be reached out to ask which of the 2 would be up for review.
Okay. Is January 1, 2027 the starting date of the award?
We do not have, currently we do not have starting dates set for when the awards would happen.
So they will be flexible to a degree. Is that correct?
They would be negotiated once if you received an award call, those would be negotiated.
Okay, thank you. Is shipping of the equipment included or not?
It would be included in your original asking for the funding amount, yes.
Okay, and yes, this presentation will be posted online as well as the slides. We'll share that link, but it could take a week for these to be posted because they do have to be reviewed and compressed and loaded and all of that. So, but they will be posted in the meantime. You can reach out if you have questions that are urgent. Next question, does the proposed equipment need, I'm sorry, let me redo this. Does the proposed equipment need to support ongoing USDA research projects, or is it simply preferable that it aligns with USDA research interest?
As long as it aligns with USDA interests in the food and agricultural sector, then it would be eligible for an application.
Okay, is supercomputer considered as proper equipment for this program?
We accept the requests for computer equipment, but it needs to be a part of that well-integrated piece of equipment. So there needs to be a physical piece of equipment. It cannot just be the computer or like a computer system.
Okay. Says PDs need to create ERA accounts anyway? Question mark. The sponsored research service in A&M submit the full grant. So yes, the PDs do have to have an ERA account, right, Chris?
Yes, they would have to have an ERA account
Okay.
in order to be listed on the application, I believe.
Okay, and this person says they're new to this grant. To be clear, the ERA account must be created first, correct? That's a yes. Otherwise, you suggest there may be errors unintentionally created in linking ERA. Yeah, this is getting a little technical. ERA and grants.gov do have help desk links. And, but yes, as Chris mentioned, you do have to have an ERA account to submit.
As I said, for the next one, ERA is transitioning this year, and there's only a select few programs. The Equipment Grants program is a part of that. One of the first programs to go through that. But all of our programs in the future should be moving over to ERA.
Yeah, and those help desks are pretty good.
Yes, and I see the next one. So it says salary coverage, but that is installation costs cannot exceed $7,000. We do not cover personnel or personnel salaries. What additional information is required for the equipment that exceeds the grant amount? So you are able to ask for or request equipment that is above the $500,000 mark, but it must be shown within your application through the budget justification narrative, where those other funds would be coming from to support the acquisition of that piece of equipment. Does the funding support only single equipment or one system consisting of several parts from multiple companies? You would have to justify why those other parts would make it a well-integrated piece of equipment. If you wouldn't be able to complete the research you are proposing without the components to this piece of equipment, that would be allowable, but you would have to justify that within your application of why it would be coming from multiple companies. Can one piece of equipment describe the package monitoring system? Please, Dr. If you could please reach out to me directly about scope or anything with your projects, I'd be happy to answer them and flesh out those ideas with you. If the equipment technology is not available in a certain geographical region, do you need official letters of support or emails from institutions? We do recommend letters of support. I believe there was a question about where they go. They would go into the other fields and are not counted towards your project narrative. But letters of support are highly encouraged. We don't have a limit on the number of letters of support, but what I would say to that is to just remember that there are people reviewing your application, and how much time would you like them to spend on a letter of recommendation over your project narrative. So try to, find the people who are really supporting your project, who are really going to benefit from it and can show really strong support towards your application. Do we need bio sketches from all affiliated users, even if they're only the PD and the co-PDs are required to have their bio sketches. Are all senior key, yes, we answered before, all senior key personnel required to have ERA accounts? Yes, the PD, the co-PD, I also believe the AOR will need one. If an institute has similar equipment in a different college, but the team does not have access, can we approach the same equipment with justification? Yes, you are able to submit an application as long as you have the justification or overuse or something like that. Key personnel, this would depend if you listed them as a PD or co-PD on your application, and they would be required to have an ERA account. We have a question that says, in case individual items in the company's quote, such warranty, violate the rule of the budget, will the proposal get rejected for that reason? It, we would still review and go off the merit of your proposal. But if it ranked highly, we would have that conversation and negotiation. And the so so just to get back to that indirect costs question, there are no indirect costs associated with the equipment grants program. We really would like the funding to go towards the equipment and providing high level research equipment that's difficult to obtain on your own. And that was all of the questions. Are there any last minute questions? We have a question that says, does it support the cost of a computer if it is required to operate the equipment? Yes, as long as you can justify why that specific computer or computer application is needed to run that specific piece of equipment you're requiring, then yes, you are able to ask for the computer system. We do not allow extended warranties. If you have specific questions, such as the food processing machines ones, reach out to me directly just so we can really flesh that out and see if it fits the scope of the equipment grants program. Donna, could you please show our contact information again? Are there specific targeted topics, themes that may score higher in this competition? We go through a very meritorious peer panel review. So no, we do not have specific topics that rank higher than others. Is the cost for the warranty within the project period allowable? Training and warranty costs must not exceed $7,000 for each category, while warranty costs are allowed. Continuing maintenance contracts are not. Are there any other questions? I think I would. How do you demonstrate innovation in the equipment grant? It would be through the research you're proposing. The shared use aspect of the equipment is very important. This can be through letters of recommendation as well. Yes, we do support both indoor and outdoor field equipment, or indoor and outdoor equipment. We go through a peer review panel, and sorry, I'm checking the maintenance plan. Um, we usually, through the project narrative, you would talk about the maintenance of the project or of the proposed equipment and how it would have longevity and sustainability within your institution. So the question is, are you looking for connections with specific USDA conservation codes or other means to justify the equipment that will help USDA interests? The requirement is that it must be a part of the food and agricultural sciences and support the food and agricultural sciences, which aligns with USDA's priorities. Yes, you may ask a USDA collaborator to write a letter of support. There are no more questions in the chat. Are there any other questions?
I don't see any.
All right, well, please feel free to, oh, I think one more just came in. The shipping cost would be a part of your overall budget. We do not require, the question is just one quote required or multiple quotes? We do not require a specific quote from a specific vendor. It does help support your application. But if you are only able to estimate it at this time, that's also allowable. You referred to the equipment being strictly for research. Are teaching institutions allowed to, as long as they focus the equipment use on research? Yes. uh, we will be providing the presentation, or it will be, if you want to request it, or it will be, all the recording will also be available. If you are, Donna made a good point. If you are, please check the Drone Security Act if you're requesting any type of drone. Does international collaboration or international letter support allowed? Please send that to me individually. Do we need to provide single quote or multiple quotes? As I stated before, um, they're not required, but you can provide as many or as few as you would like, as long as you believe that it would help support your application. I believe through the NIFA application guide, you would be able to access all of the forms. And just to reiterate, yes, computers are are a part of your request as long as they contribute to the well-integrated piece of equipment that you are requesting. And I think that covered all of the questions. I think we're good to close out here, Donna. If you have any specific questions, if you have questions about the scope of your project, if you have questions about your application, specific documents, please feel free to reach out to me. I would be happy to meet with any of you. But thank you so much for attending today, and we really appreciate you being here.